I remember the exact moment my life took a turn. I had just come home from work, ready to kick off my shoes and unwind, when my wife, Emily, looked up from her phone and said, without a trace of hesitation, "Nathan, I want a divorce." No warning, no explanation. Just a cold, matter-of-fact statement, like she was commenting on the weather. I blinked, unsure if I had heard her correctly. "Excuse me?" I asked, keeping my voice steady. "I said I want a divorce," she repeated, slower this time, as if I were too dense to understand the first time. I should have been angry, maybe even heartbroken, but all I felt was disbelief. Divorce? After everything we'd been through? And then she hit me with the real blow. "I can't keep living like this, Nate," she sighed, crossing her arms. "I need someone who actually works, who provides. This isn't the life I signed up for." That's when I almost laughed, because what Emily didn't know, what she had never bothered to ask, was that I had been secretly making over $500,000 a year. And she had just thrown me away, thinking she was trading up. She had no idea what was coming next. At first, I thought Emily just wanted out, that maybe she had fallen out of love, or maybe she was just tired of me. But then I started noticing things. Her constant texting, the way she'd suddenly dress up more when she was going out with friends, the way she smiled at her phone, then quickly locked it whenever I walked by. And then there was Liam, my best friend, or at least the guy who had held that title for years. Emily had started mentioning his name more than usual. Liam said this. Liam recommended that. At first, I didn't think much of it. But soon, it became obvious, too obvious. She wasn't just leaving me. She was leaving me for him. I didn't confront her. I didn't need to. She thought she was in control, that I was too blind to see what was happening. But I saw everything, and I was about to let her dig her own grave. When the divorce proceedings began, Emily walked in like she had already won. She sat across from me with a smug little smile, fully expecting me to beg, to fight, to plead. I didn't. I signed every document without hesitation. She wanted the house. Fine. Some of our savings? Go ahead. She probably thought she was robbing me blind. What she didn't know was that the house wasn't even mine. It was a rental under my name. And the savings she thought she was taking? That was just a tiny fraction of my actual wealth. The real money was hidden away in investments and accounts she didn't even know existed. She thought she had won, but she had no idea she had just set herself up for failure. Emily wasted no time moving Liam into her house. A neighbor sent me a picture of them unloading boxes, both of them grinning like they had won the lottery. I didn't react. I didn't call. I didn't text. I let them believe they had beaten me. But life has a funny way of balancing the scales. At first, everything seemed great for them. Emily started throwing dinner parties, trying to flaunt her new, perfect life. She was desperate to show the world that she had upgraded. But cracks started showing, fast. One mutual friend, Sarah, called me out of the blue. Nathan, you will not believe this. What? I asked, already smirking. They're struggling. Liam's been overspending like crazy, and they're months behind on bills. Emily's trying to act like everything's fine, but I heard them arguing at the grocery store yesterday. She was screaming at him about money. I just chuckled. Of course they were struggling. Liam was the type of guy who loved expensive cars, fancy watches, and luxury vacations, but never had the discipline to maintain that lifestyle. He had always envied my success, but he didn't have the work ethic to achieve it himself. And now Emily, the woman who left me because I supposedly didn't work hard enough, was paying for his mistakes. It started with a text. "Emily, hey, hope you're doing well. Just wanted to check in." I stared at the message for a moment before replying. "Me? Things are great. Business is booming. How about you?" A long pause. Then, "Emily, oh, things are a little tight financially, but we're managing." Managing. That was an interesting way to describe being months behind on rent and maxing out credit cards. I didn't reply. She was fishing, and I wasn't biting. A week later, I got another message from Sarah. Nathan, you're gonna love this. Emily and Liam tried to throw another dinner party, but the power got shut off mid-evening because they didn't pay the utility bill. I laughed out loud. Emily had thrown me away, thinking she was trading up. Now she was sitting in the dark with an unemployed fraud. And the best part? I hadn't even started my revenge yet. It was only a matter of time. Liam wasn't the kind of guy who could stay loyal to one person. He thrived on attention, on chasing something new and exciting. So when Sarah called me again, I already knew what she was going to say. Nathan, guess who caught Liam texting another woman? I grinned. Let me guess, Emily? Bingo. And she completely lost it. Threw her coffee at him in a packed cafe. It was glorious. It turns out Liam had been seeing a younger woman from his new job. Someone fresh, someone who didn't come with baggage. Emily had stabbed me in the back for a guy who turned around and did the same thing to her. The irony was delicious. Now, Emily was alone. No money, no support, and no Liam. And that's when the real desperation set in. The phone rang one morning. It was a number I hadn't saved, but I knew it instantly. Emily. I let it ring a few times before answering. Nathan, we need to talk, she said, her voice tense. I leaned back in my chair, smiling. About what? She hesitated. About everything. About Liam. About us. Us. The nerve of this woman. Emily, there is no us, I said calmly. That ended the day you handed me divorce papers. So, what do you really want? She took a shaky breath. Things have been difficult. We're struggling. I just thought maybe you could help. Just a small loan to get back on my feet. I actually laughed. Let me get this straight, I said. You left me because you thought I wasn't good enough. You threw away our marriage, took my house, and flaunted your new life in my face. And now, because that life is falling apart, you want me to fix it. Silence. It's not like that. Nathan, she started. No, I cut her off. It's exactly like that. And here's the thing, Emily, you wanted to be free of me. So enjoy that freedom. I have no interest in being your safety net. And with that, I hung up. For the first time in years, I felt truly free. Karma had done all the work for me. Emily and Liam had built their relationship on lies and betrayal, and now that foundation had crumbled. Meanwhile, I had thrived. I moved into a penthouse in the city, a sleek, modern space with floor-to-ceiling windows and a skyline view. My career skyrocketed, my income passed $600,000 a year, and my life had never been better. Every now and then, I'd hear whispers about Emily. She was struggling, living in a tiny apartment, barely scraping by. The friends she had once bragged to? Gone. Liam? Gone. And then, one day, I ran into her at a grocery store. She looked different, tired, worn down, a shadow of the woman who once thought she was better than me. She saw me, and for a moment, our eyes met. She opened her mouth like she wanted to say something, but nothing came out. I just smiled. I hope you're doing well, Emily. She nodded quickly, eyes darting away. You too. And just like that, she pushed her cart down the aisle and out of my life. No fireworks. No big confrontation. Just the cold, hard reality of her choices staring her in the face. She had bet everything on Liam, and she lost. Meanwhile, I had won, not by revenge, not by fighting, by living well. And that was the best revenge of all. After that last encounter with Emily, I realized something profound. I didn't feel anger anymore. No bitterness, no need for revenge. Because I had already won. While Emily was stuck living in the mess she created, I had built a life that was truly mine, a life that was thriving, a life that was free, and, most importantly, a life that didn't include her. People like Emily and Liam always think they're getting ahead. They think they're trading up, making the smarter move, leaving behind dead weight. But what they fail to understand is that character matters. Success isn't just about money. It's about resilience, work ethic, integrity. And when you build your life on lies and betrayal, it doesn't matter how great things seem at first. Eventually, the foundation cracks. And when it does, it all comes crashing down. Months later, I was sitting on the balcony of my penthouse, a whiskey in one hand, my phone in the other, when I got a text from an old mutual friend. You're not going to believe this. I smirked. I already knew. Emily was completely broke. Her apartment? Gone. Her friends? Gone. She had burned every bridge, trying to keep up a lifestyle she could never afford. And Liam? The last I heard, he was crashing on someone's couch, unable to hold down a job, a relationship, or even a place to live. They both got exactly what they deserved. And I moved on. I built a new life, made new memories, found real happiness. Not out of revenge, not to prove a point, but because I refused to let their betrayal define me. And that's the real victory. They say the best revenge is living well. I say it's not even thinking about them at all. Because when you're winning, you don't have time for the losers.